Welcome to the final part of Castlevania. So yeah, it's time to do the final stage and take on Dracula.
In this part, we bullied Dracula for his lunch money.
Acceptable.
You know, we haven't really gotten into the Belmont's beef with Dracula, and we're not going to for quite a long time, to be honest.
Hey, look, there was Bat and another one.
Why would Dracula?
My honest opinion is the best way to deal with these guys, because there's tons of them. The first boss in the game, and they're just like a regular enemy here. But quite honestly, the best way to deal with these guys is to ignore them entirely.
Yep.
You try to fight them, you're more likely to be taken out.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's a skeleton.
Wow, he really was going for you. He fucking hopped on that ledge like, surprise!
Surprise! Meh!
And you just kind of hit him with the whip and then he died.
And he prays!
Holy shit!
That's many bone.
This is way too much calcium, dude.
I love these skeletons, honestly.
That was such an underrated joke.
So much calcium.
I am not losing the stopwatch for the knife, especially where we got birds carrying hunchbacks.
Yep.
Oh,
I like
that's
the clock
really
with
bad.
time.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you know what also is really bad?
Clocks.
Terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow! I did
Yeah.
This
I agree.
this level's probably the worst example. So stairs, you're a complete sitting duck while you're on them. You cannot jump while you're on stairs. All you can do is hit the whip forward. You're a complete sitting duck, and that's a big issue. Anyway, so here's the grand staircase.
Whoa.
That was my first death in the game, but I did that on purpose so that I'd have full health.
How'd you do?
I like how it just plummeted so fast.
How'd you fall through the stairs?
You see, I didn't hold up.
What?
That's the dumbest mechanic I've ever heard of.
It's really bad. Like in this game, you
Whoa.
have to ascend the stairs by holding
No.
them. It's the stupidest thing. And the detection is so precise.
Alright, goddamn Dracula.
Dracula.
Time to kill the bad guy.
Whip.
He's like a magician.
Dude, he's
Nice
like
him.
a bad Dracula.
Now you know.
He casts balls.
Yeah, he shoots fireballs and teleports all over the place. It's actually a lot harder than I'm making it look.
It really is, honestly.
Because, like, for one, sometimes he intentionally delays his attacks just to screw with you,
Oh.
and other
so you
times
do a
he'll
pattern
spawn
after that.
right where you're standing.
Yep.
Or,
Yeah,
like,
you don't really have a warning before
or
he
like,
spawns.
like, notice how I'm always moving. That's because he likes to spawn there. But there's also the times where he'll spawn right in front of you like that.
Yeah, like you just did, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks,
That's
Will.
what really got me a lot when I was playing, is that he'd do that a lot and I'd be like, you're just a fucking dickhead.
What, like, my biggest trick with the fireball thing, though, is I always wait until after he opens his cape to jump.
Oh yeah, look at that. He does the thing.
This is, that's my key strategy. But again, even when you have that strategy, you're still probably gonna die a few times. Again, in my case, I got several practice playthroughs in, so...
Alright. I'm gonna complain about something right now.
What?
Go.
I'm pretty sure it was today, because it wasn't like this this morning. And so I think the update was implemented while I was at class.
Yep,
What?
that's Dracula's final form.
Behold my true
Whoa.
form in despair!
That's
Yep.
crazy. My friends.
Make sure you have holy water for this, because it's gonna make things a lot easier. Because once he traps you into a corner, you're gonna get hit, and all of Dracula's attacks do take a quarter of your health.
It's true. Fun fact, Castlevania is the first game, or first game that I've emulated, that I played, and I had to take a hour-long break from.
Okay, I had to do that too, but it was just because I had to get today's Sonic Mania episode ready.
I was mad or I did it because I was mad.
Wow.
But your core is up to 177,000.
So anyway,
Oh,
now that Dracula's been slain, Castlevania is now crumbling. I love looking at that in just about every game that it happens.
Mhm.
And that
How
includes
does
Mega
it
Man
rebuild
5.
so fast?
Alright, so we're gonna pause now, and it's time for final thoughts. Will goes first.
You know, it kind of appeals to the kind of game that's just a hard game. It seems like an older thing though, and I understand that all the decisions that all the things in this game that make it hard were pretty deliberate.
That guy's name is Banana.
That's fine. You know, he's got his own life. But I would say that challenge in a game should come from, complexity and, like, fast-pacedness, not controls. So I'm definitely gonna dock some points from that. There was a story, but it wasn't really explained, or if it was, I just completely missed it.
It's just kill Dracula, pretty much.
And, but, you know, it looked like the game would have, like, itself would have been pretty fun. 5 out of 10.
Ah, it's an average game. Okay. Now, Gabe goes next.
So, I'm a little more well-versed in the Castlevania series. So, this was a good starting point. Obviously, the controls were, how do they say, pretty fucking horrid. You know, the jump arc thing is pretty ridiculous, but again, I understand why they did it. The whip fire-up thing is a little more realistic, you know, like that, like getting used to upon playing, but once you got the rhythm down, it was pretty money. Again, the story was pretty basic in this game. Of course, it expands much further in the other Castlevania games. But it was a good starting point. It's difficult because certain sections go from, wow, this game is baby easy, to Dark Souls didn't prepare me for this.
Wow.
Kind of stuff like that. But yeah, it's got good music too, so I give it a 6.25 out of 10.
Oddly specific, but makes sense.
Alright, Carrie?
Let's see. So I think out of everybody here, Will, I don't know how much you have been exposed to this game, but I probably know the least about it. I've only known basically the title and the fact that it has a lot of religious imagery to it. So being somebody who is a religious studies enthusiast, particularly how religions develop around culture and their history and stuff, I was definitely interested in seeing how that's going to play out in the game, and it was nice to see some of that. I don't feel like much really stood out to me in this game, to be honest, but like Gabe said, I do feel like this is a good starting point from the series. Obviously, Gabe can say that from the standpoint of knowing more about the series as a whole, but I do see this as a good starting point. There wasn't really much to draw me in as a viewer, you know, story-wise. But I am looking forward to seeing what this game series has in store. So for this first one, I probably would also have to say this is a pretty average game to me. So 5 out of 10. But I'm looking forward to hopefully raising that rating as we go on throughout the series.
Okay, so, oh my god, this game is hard. It will test you, and it's like a big thing is that it really tests your patience. The level design, the enemies, and the control are all big factors of that, and the difficulty is like the real selling point here. I think it was done better than most NES games that went for the really hard approach, looking at you, Battletoads. But, I can find it fairly enjoyable, and I think it's a game that anybody should at least give a try. However, I would not call this the best starting point in the series. I'd give that to either Castlevania 4 or Symphony of the Night, depending on what kind of game you want to play.
Yep.
But that's basically my thought on it. Oh, and also I love the soundtrack. I'm gonna give it 5.5 out of 10. Again, like with all of us, 5 is average. So next time we're playing Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. Oh my
Like
god.
RPG.
From what I can tell, it's probably gonna be a pretty easy game.
It's not hard. It's just really.
Until then, I'm Evan.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Will.
And we are signing off.
We are Smash Team Trains.